All right, let's welcome Derek Stevens, everyone.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing today?
We're going to chat for a few minutes, and then we're going to actually open it up to Q&A. If anyone was ever curious what it's like to, even build a hotel, casino hotel here in Vegas and running them, this is the man to ask. So Derek, why don't you introduce yourself, a little bit about your history, how you got into here, and don't forget to mention when and how the Bitcoin ATM came about here at the D.
I'm originally from the Detroit, Michigan area, and I progressively.
Why we're in the Detroit ballroom, huh?
Well, yeah. As you can see with the D, we have all of our ballrooms and meeting space named after cities in Michigan. I started moving out here progressively in 2006. Now I'd been coming to Vegas for, I would say about 15 years before that for work or for pleasure. And 2006, I bought the Golden Gate, so just down the street. And in this business, when you buy something, you don't actually get to do anything with it until you get licensed. So my licensing took almost 18 months, so I got licensed in March of 2008. And then at that point in time, I started moving out here progressively, little by little. I still had kids in grade school and high school at that time, so I was back in Michigan quite a bit. But over the course of the next few years, I ended up spending a little bit more time out here. And I've been now full-time in Vegas for, I would say 10, 12 years or so. After purchasing the Golden Gate, I had been in negotiation to try to buy another casino for a little while. And I really liked downtown Las Vegas. So I had an opportunity to reach agreement to buy this property, which at that time was called Fitzgerald's. And we eventually got to the point where we were able to get the deal done at the beginning of 2011. And then in the casino business, it's not as if you get a license. It's not as if like a driver's license where once you get one, you're good everywhere you go. Every license is affixed to a property. So I had to get relicensed for this property. And that once you have done it once, it doesn't take as long the second and third time. So I was licensed in October of 2011 for this property. We spent some time renovating, and in March of 2012, we had a night where we gave out T-shirts to everybody that said, "I got drunk at Fitzgerald's, but I woke up at the D." Because we transferred our whole brand over overnight one night, and then that was the beginning of the D Las Vegas. So we kind of brought a little bit of a different vibe with a little louder music and a lot more TVs and things like that to this property. And then we had a lot of fun kind of operating and kind of growing the D here for the last 10, 12 years. It was a couple years into the D is when the opportunity came up to bring a Bitcoin ATM in, and I would say 10 years ago the Gaming Control Board was obviously very, very reluctant. This was prior to the government declaring that people weren't sure, is this a currency or what was going to happen. So there was a lot of reluctance, and I think maybe the fact that we were a smaller, privately held company, and we went to the Gaming Control Board and we said, "Hey, we would like to bring this Bitcoin ATM in." They listened to us and they were intrigued and they had a lot of questions. I think some of the big companies, like Caesars at the time or MGM, were a bit more reluctant to move forward with this. But we were a smaller company, and I had always asked, well, why not? So the Gaming Control Board gave us the ability to bring a Bitcoin ATM in. They allowed us to accept Bitcoin in various locations, such as our restaurants, our gift shop, our hotel, for meeting space. And they wanted to monitor transactions just to see how things were going. And they had a very positive perspective on it. And really, ever since then, I've never really had many questions about it. I would say there's a couple of funny times when I had the Gaming Control Board here, and they looked at the Bitcoin ATM, and they had their tech people, they had their administrators, they had the control board members, and they they had a lot of interest in opening up the machine because it was almost as if
they're looking for the Bitcoins.
I don't know. It was almost as if you remember that one day when Geraldo Rivera had to open up that safe and wanted to see what was inside. Everybody wanted to see what was inside this thing, so that was kind of fun. But effectively bringing Bitcoin in was great for us. We got some publicity. I got to meet you. I got to meet a lot of the people you've brought out, and Bitcoin to Vegas has been nice for our properties.
Yeah, no, it's great. And there was a conference in this room back in 2015. Everyone was about to start booing. So there was an event here in 2015. It was back then. It was early 2015. It was more of a Bitcoin-ish event. Even Nick Szabo was one of the speakers. But at that event, over a stream, was the very first public appearance of Craig Wright pretending to be Satoshi that happened right here in this room as well. So this room has a long history. And we had to, come back here and make sure that won't happen again. So this becomes a Bitcoin-only conference. A quick word on the Circa. This was like the first construction downtown. That's the new hotel. And just a few words on that, and then we might, then I'll have a few questions, and then we'll open it up.
Yeah, so, Circa's up now, but you think about how much time it takes to build something.
You were building it during the pandemic, too.
Right. Well, my first investment into what's that city block that Circa sits on was in August of 2015. We were designing during 2016 and 2017, and we effectively began setting up the property for a build in 2018, and then we built in 2019 and 2020. We were planning on opening around New Year's of 2020, but then in March of 2020, obviously pandemic hit. Initially, obviously everyone at that time is pretty scared about what's going on, what's going to happen with the business. I got asked by a number of people, well, are you going to put the project on hold? And, that we were I guess, we were maybe 7 months pregnant with this project. It's, you don't put the project on hold. Other projects got canceled, but we were down the path pretty well. So what we kind of took a different approach. The governor at that time in the state of Nevada, he came from the trade unions, and he made a declaration which was very different than in other states. He declared that construction was a protected industry in the state of Nevada. So unlike in the state of New York, where all construction projects had to cease, in Nevada, construction projects were one of the only things that was allowed to continue on. So then what happened was our builders came up with a great idea, saying, we're building this, effectively 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, but we're doing that because of the sound problems. Now, there's nobody on the streets. There's no hotel rooms that we're going to disrupt. So we went to 24-hour construction, and we were able to open in October of 2020. So we opened about 10 weeks earlier. Over the long term, you'd say maybe 10 weeks doesn't make that much of a difference. But I've never been one that has had to borrow this type of money. And when you're thinking about the interest rate on what you're paying, it's pretty crazy to think that our interest that we were paying was in excess of $1 million a week. It was pretty meaningful that we were able to open up a little bit early. What was also pretty cool in Vegas, when we opened, there were still a lot of casinos that had not reopened, so we were able to employ an additional, effectively 3,000 people when people were out of work. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I didn't know about that. That's really cool. I was there for the grand opening. It was really, really cool when you guys were showing the Circa around. And we're looking, hopefully one day we'll move this event over to the Circa. It is by far the nicest. It's brand new, so it has to be the nicest hotel in this area on Fremont. So any future plans for Bitcoin? I mean, you do accept it for room payments and other payments, but Have you had any talks, maybe a slot machine denominated in Bitcoin or Satoshi? We do a poker tournament denominated in Bitcoin, and we just use a private venue. You want to challenge the commission one more time? Hey guys, ATM was okay. Any chance of a slot machine? And then maybe, take it from there.
I would tell you that one of the reasons why I like to come here to this conference, first is really to tell everybody thank you for coming to our property and spending your time here. But for me, I think like everyone else, I'm here to learn. If there are ideas that you have or the audience has this week, I'll give up my business card to anyone that wants one. But throw the ideas my way. I could tell you that maybe when I first met you, I was still pretty new in the industry, but now I've been around a little bit longer. I would say our relationship with the Gaming Control Board is great, and they actually push me to provide them with more ideas. So if a Bitcoin poker tournament is on the list, we just have to go through some details and make a presentation. I'm certainly not saying that I can get something approved because they're going to have a lot of questions, but I can certainly get a forum and see what we could do. I want to support cryptocurrency. I want to support Bitcoin. I want to support all of you. So for me, I'm here really to tell everybody I want to learn from you. So if you've got ideas and thoughts, please convey them. Please write me an email because I'd like to do whatever I can to support this group.
No, that'd be awesome. Thank you. And if anyone works in that kind of tech and can put together a plan, again, same thing. A Bitcoin-denominated poker tournament is great. We do that already. If there is ever a Bitcoin-denominated slot machine with unconfiscatable branding on it would be great. So any designers want to put that together, that'd be awesome because we do have amazing branding. All right. On this note,
let me just jump in here on something like this. As you say, one of the issues that gaming always brings up is a variable priced prize. If someone hits a jackpot, they have to get a W2G, and it's a defined dollar amount. Somebody hits for 10,000. That's kind of how that works. But there are variable valued jackpots that are out there, particularly when you see some of these jackpots that are in the form of a silver bar or a gold bar or something like that. The reason I bring that up is that that's opened the door to variable priced payouts, which I think is the path that we would want to take.
Oh, yeah.
With a jackpot that could be a Bitcoin or something along those lines.
That's a great idea because you don't have to put Bitcoins or Satoshis in to gamble. You're getting paid out in fiat, but the grand prize, if you hit that magic sevens or whatever the magic final jackpot is, that number is denominated in Satoshis, which is the lowest unit of Bitcoin, which could also tick up over time. So that price is like a gold bar. Yeah, that would be a good start.
So I think from a gaming control board's perspective, that would probably be the methodology that we would want to present first, and I think they'd be most open to it, just to let everybody know.
Awesome. Let's open up the question.